How's it going, ladies and bruises? I'm Sixkilla and welcome back to Route Double. We are still in the little security area where we're hiding out with Yuri and Mr. Ukita. Watase's out there trying to grab Salia. Jun is currently trying to cut her way in here with an engine cutter, and Ina is holding Watase up with a gun. So things aren't going super well at the moment, but you know, we've saved a couple of people. Hopefully we can get another one in. Also, if you notice me scratching my nose all the fucking time, it's not because I have a cocaine problem. It's just allergies. The allergies... it's allergies, yeah, something like that. Yeah, no, seriously. Like, it's summer here and my allergies are flaring up like crazy, and I have to keep stopping to sneeze and shit, and I apologize. I am sorry. I'm so sorry. It's gonna be like this for a couple of months. Yeah, until it starts cooling down again, because it's hot as fuck around here now. Anyway, let's carry on, shall we? What? Especially under the studio lights. That makes it even hotter. Shit, a brick. Huh? What? What? The metal cutting sound kept echoing beyond the iron door, but eventually it abruptly stopped. What was that? Natsuhiko looked at the iron door with a bad feeling in his gut. It was supposedly sturdy enough to withstand fires and explosions, and yet there was no lock. Yuri, Mr. Ukita, is there no way to make sure the door can't open? No. Why would an emergency shelter even have a lock on the inside? Well, let's pin down that door with some... But before Natsuhiko could finish, the door opened with a heavy thud. So there really was a hidden room here, huh? And who stood in the doorway was none other than Jun. She looked around the shelter and spoke up as she spotted Ukita. Mr. Ukita, you slipped out of my sight for a second. Then I find you in a place like... Wait. Natsuhiko? Yuri? And even Mashido too? Why are you all here? Well, that's... When Jun focused her eyes on him, Natsuhiko found himself at a loss for words. Jun's eyes picked up on Natsuhiko and Mashido's wounds, and then she gritted her teeth. Looks like we're gonna have to wipe her memory first, or fix her memory first. Mr. Ukita, you bastard. You weren't satisfied just attacking me, so you laid your hands on the kids too? Ukita's body froze up with a twitch. Natsuhiko panicked and put himself between them. Hold on a second, Jun. Why are you stopping me? This old fart whacked me on the head, you know. And look at you kids, you're all covered in wounds. He's the one who shot you, isn't he? No, you're wrong. Mr. Ukita's not at fault. So, please stop. Jun stared at Natsuhiko and Yuri in confusion. Why are you two stopping me? You're acting strange, guys. Why would you cover for a criminal? Look, you got it all wrong. Mr. Ukita was, well, being manipulated. Like I'd buy such bullshit. Jun suddenly stopped speaking. A look of realization then crossed her face. Oh, now I get it. You kids are in cahoots with the old man, aren't you? What brings you to that conclusion? That's it, isn't it? Yuri disappeared in the middle of things, and you and Mashido were nowhere to be found, no matter how much we searched and searched. You kids teamed up with Mr. Ukita and tried to kill everyone. When you take the remaining stock of AD into consideration, there's no way for all 9 of us to be trapped here to survive. So you guys plotted to kill 3 of us off to save yourselves. It all fits when you think of it that way, doesn't it? There's nothing strange about Jun's tone of voice. She sounded completely rational. The actual content of her words was completely devoid of reason. Jun! I never expected the Jun I know would become like this. He shuddered in renewed fear of Subject N's power. Jun's maddened eyes glared at the kids as she spoke. You guys were the ones who killed Dojima and Hiyama and stole the AD too, weren't you? Why in the world would you do such a thing? Why? They were genuine rescue workers who lived for the sake of saving people's lives. So why'd you have to go and kill them? Jun readied the engine cutter. Ukita pointed the gun at her and threatened to shoot. Stop, don't get any closer. Jun froze and let out a snort of disbelief. What's with the tough guy act, huh? Could that thing be filled with the bullets you snatched from me? No, it's a different gun, one that actually has a magazine this time. Lay a hand on those kids and I'll shoot. I see how it is. Well, there's a whole lot of things I'd like to say, but go ahead. Make my day. I'm seriously gonna shoot. You don't have the guts to do it. Your actions lack the confidence. What? If you were gonna kill me, then you should have just gone and done it when you snatched the bullets. What are you saying? You think I could have done that? It's because you lack true conviction that you left me alive, wasn't it? Guess in the end you're just a weak, half-assed man who can't commit to good or evil. Shut up. Right as Ukita screamed those words, a gunshot rang out. Teach, put the gun down. Watase called out to her in a subdued voice. He had to get back to the shelter as soon as possible. He couldn't have Ina holding him up. She kept a gun trained on him and answered, I can't do that. Mr. Ukita told me that you're a terrorist. You're not denying it? I can't, it's the truth after all. I've been plotting an attack on Labo for a year now. I remembered that after I got my memories back. Then are you really a rescue worker? Yeah, I am. Hilarious, isn't it? I was partaking in a terrorist plot while working to save lives. It's not funny, not at all. A lonely smile then formed on Ina's face. I was hoping that Mr. Ukita was lying. I figured you couldn't be a terrorist. I thought you were a true rescue worker who risked his life to save others. The Captain Kasasagi I knew well was a man who would run through contaminated zones and poisonous gas to save others. Why did you do all this? Why terrorism? Watase's heart ached at that question. He didn't have long to talk, however. He felt that he had to tell her the truth in order to get her to lower the gun. You see, I lost my family in a fire 16 years ago. Huh? Back then I just felt sad. It wasn't until many years later that I'd learned the truth. Teach, did you know that fire was caused by a single communicator? But the ones behind Hirokume City and Labo covered all that up. There were very few who knew the truth. The only ones who did were Q, the affected individuals in the Hirokume City government. Ina listened to him all the way through, then quietly answered, I knew. I see. So she really is with the Hirokume City Security Department. Watase continued as he thought that I couldn't stand the idea that those who deserved to be punished had avoided their judgment. It made me sick to think that the ones who were secretly behind that incident were living cozily without taking responsibility for their actions. That was my entire motive for assaulting Labo and trying to abduct the test subjects, to bring the truth to light. Ina bitterly gritted her teeth. Watase couldn't tell when the look on her face meant. She then barely managed to squeeze her next words out. Then that girl lying by the lift, she was a test subject too, wasn't she? Were you the one who shot her? No, it was either Dojima or Hiyama, my comrades. You're blaming this on the dead? No, that's not it. Had things played out even slightly differently, I might have ended up being the one who shot her instead. Huh? Dojima, Hiyama, and I were not in the right mind. Since you know about the truth of the fire 16 years ago, I'm guessing you know how people were infected by Communicator A's malice too. Well, something just like that is happening all over this facility right now. No way, then are you telling me Mr. Ukita and Miss Mortabe were also infected with malice? It seemed Ina had figured out everything from one sentence, as expected of someone working for the government in the shadows. Watase nodded and continued. I was infected with malice too. It took the hatred for communicators that had sealed away in my heart and amplified it to the limit. And as a result, I shot Mashiro Tolpa and Natsuhiko as well. No. I'm sorry, Teach, I'm not a rescue worker anymore, I'm just a terrorist. But you don't look like you're infected with malice. Right you are. You can thank Natsuhiko and Yuri for that. They're the ones who set me free from the malice. And so I... Huh? And his eyes widened. What'd you just say? Well, you see, they repaired my memories using sense sympathy and set me free from the malice. Wait, what are you talking about? That's news to me. Repairing memories with sense sympathy? Setting someone free from malice? Are you telling me Mr. Tenkawa and Miss Yuri can do all that? What? Watase was astonished. What's going on? Shouldn't members of the security department know all about Natsuhiko and Yuri? Are Labo and the security department not on the same page? No, they can't be, they'd never screw up like that. Wait, then in that case, just who in the world is Teach? Watase was about to ask her for more details, but at that moment, he heard a sound behind him. He turned around in surprise and saw Sally running at him from the other end of the hallway. Shah! By the time he noticed her, it was too late. Sally's jump kick nailed Watase right in the chin. Thoughts raced through Watase's head as he fell to the floor. Why does this girl always have to show up at the worst possible times? I think she does that on purpose. Though he felt close to fainting, he could still make out Sally and Ina's voice. Ina, what are you doing with that gun? You trying to shoot this man? Then just shoot him already. What are you even saying, Miss Sanamiya? You could hear the voices growing louder. But his concussion rendered him unable to put any strength into his hands or feet, meaning he couldn't get up. This man shot Natsuhiko. He also tried to blow up the nuclear reactor and destroy the city. Vicious crimes are not easily forgiven. What do you plan to do, Captain Kasasagi? Do to Captain Kasasagi? Kill him. Kill him? I don't really want to kill him either, but I have to do it to protect everyone. No, don't do it, Miss Sanamiya. Why are you stopping me? Why? You're acting strange. You're still with this man even after I warned you. You won't open your heart to us. Furthermore, you're holding a gun. Could it be that you're a terrorist too? What? If that's the case, then I won't show you any mercy either. Watase could hear Sally walking towards Ina. It was then that his body finally moved. He stretched out his hand and swung them around Sally's leg. Sully gasped at the same time Watase shouted, Teach, get out of here. Go to B1, Area 5's in a ring. Huh? Natsuko, Yuri, Masato, and Old Man Ukita are there. But there's a high chance that they're being attacked by Mortabe because of the malice she's been infected with. Please, save them for me. A look of hesitation rose to Ina's face for a moment when she heard Watase's pleas. You sure about that? You don't even know what I really am. You sure you can trust someone who could be infected with malice? Those words triggered Watase's memory. He remembered how Ina had stood up for him back when Jun and Ukita had pressed him hard in the surveillance room. You trusted me back then. That's why I trust you. Those words softened Ina's face. You really are too soft for your own good, you know that? She then started running down the hallway. Sully shook off Watase's grip at the same time. Out of my way. She kicked Watase in the head. Watase mustered all his willpower to keep his fading consciousness tethered. Back at the shelter, Ukita and Jun were staring at each other. Oh no. Problem, Mr. Ukita? Jun stepped up with that provocative line. That engine cutter is intimidating as, man. Ukita had shot several rounds, but they'd all lodged into the ground by Jun's feet. Looks like you can't hit me, huh? All you're doing is threatening me. You ain't gonna stop me like that, you know. Whatever, just stop or I'll shoot you for real this time. Ukita trained his aim on Jun, but her feet did not stop. Natsuko reached the end of his rope and called out to her. Jun, please stop. Huh? Didn't you say you wanted to be a hero of justice? What kind of hero kills people? No worries, I ain't gonna kill you guys. Just gonna lop off an arm or a leg or two so you can't move, that's all. You won't be a rescue worker anymore if you do that, Jun. Natsuko, you know Mr. Ukita struck me in the back of the head and snatched the bullets from me. He stole them so he could kill people. So you see, he's an attempted murderer. He wasn't himself at the time. He doesn't have thoughts like that anymore. How the hell can you say that? How the hell can you suggest an attempted murderer could ever reform? Listen, it's too late to act on someone once someone's been killed. The dead are never coming back. It's not like I want to do this either, damn it. But if the alternative is to regret the loss of another victim, I'd rather take this guy down myself. Even if his blood on my hand means I'll never work with Sirius again. Jun raised the engine cutter up high and sprung at Ukita. Stop! The moment Yuri's cry rang out, someone plunged into the room through the door. Freeze! Shouting that command was Ina, with the gun in her hand trained on Jun. Professor? Why the hell are you here? Captain Kasasagi told me about it. He said a deranged woman was here, about to attack people. So, what's that supposed to mean? I couldn't find you for the longest time and now you're with the terrorists? Can it? Move and I'll shoot. This is your last warning. The surrounding air froze the moment that warning left Ina's lips. Killing intent oozed out of her entire body, condensed at her fingertip, and set itself upon the trigger. You gonna shoot me? You're nothing but a high school teacher. Oh, I'll shoot, because I'm not a teacher, see? You're not a teacher? I thought at least someone would have figured it out already, but I'm a detective. What? Detective? All eyes widened at Ina's confession. Or rather, something like a detective to be accurate. I belong to a group whose existence is unknown to the general public, but we conduct activities in accordance with the police. We're authorized to carry firearms and we reserve the right to shoot to kill criminals when no other options are available. Huh, the hell's that? You think I'd buy such bullshit? You think it's bullshit? Try me. Jun sank into silence as if in defeat. Ina spoke more and more relentlessly. Put that engine cutter slowly on the ground. One suspicious move and you're dead. But Jun didn't relinquish the engine cutter. Ina whispered to Natsuhiko from the side. Mr. Tenkawa, listen up. I've got Miss Mortabe pinned down, so use this opportunity to erase her malice. Natsuhiko's eyes widened. Chapter 4. How does Professor Tsubakiyama know about memory repair? As Natsuhiko questioned that point, Ina continued, I'm okay, I'm not infected with malice. Unlike Jun, who was clearly infected with malice, Ina appeared to be normal, but she did have a gun and her true identity was still ambiguous. Can she be trusted? Better than a crazy person wielding an engine cutter, clearly intending to lop you up into bits. I trust just about anyone over that, if you have two options. Natsuhiko was urged to a decision as two armed women glared at each other in front of him, and after a moment's hesitation he made his brave decision. Yuri, let's take care of Jun first. Yeah. Even if Ina's heart wasn't open, she was more trustworthy than Jun right now. No shit. Yuri probably came to the same conclusion. The two kids held hands and focused on Jun. The problem is, what criteria to use for memory access? Jun seemed unrelated to the terrorist plot, but just to be sure, They should probably take a look through her memory up until today. They should also look for floral scented memories to repair any that they would find. Natsuhiko 1, Jun max. Just how much in detail should I look? I get the feeling it'd be best if I didn't trespass too far in, but Natsuhiko pondered. Did he want a detailed understanding of Jun's deepest depths, or not? A detailed understanding would probably be conducive to a more accurate memory repair, but still. I want a detailed understanding of Jun. Why would the Jun I know change this much? I suspect I'll find the answer within her memory. Natsuhiko decided to have a detailed look through Jun's memories. Jun, please don't move. Huh? What are you trying to pull? It'll all be over soon. As Jun's body stiffened, Natsuhiko and Yuri stepped up to her and activated sense sympathy. It was a memory of when Jun was 11 years old. Screw you, Daddy. And yet another typical day, Jun yelled those words at her father and ran out of her house. She headed to the nearby park as always, but her father had never once chased her that far, and this day was no exception. Why couldn't Daddy be a hero of justice instead? She pondered that question as she sat on one of the benches. Jun had always loved anything hero-related she'd seen on TV for as long as she could remember. She admired heroes who risked their lives to save others on the earth. But there was a world of difference between those kind of heroes and Jun's father. He was a prominent city council member, who was even well known in Rokume City, but in a bad way. Heroes of justice? How ridiculous. There is no absolute justice or evil in this world. People are not pure good or pure evil either. There are only those who lie in the continuous spectrum of grey between the two. Jun grew sad when she remembered the words her father had said to her. He was a strict man, who never took his daughter into consideration. Jun's mother had fertility issues, so she'd face a lot of hardship until she became pregnant with Jun. But when Jun was finally born, her father lost interest in both his wife and child on the simple account that a daughter could never be his successor. I've been trying real hard to act like a boy, but I guess it was all for nothing. Jun had come to think of herself as worthless due to all those long years spent unloved by her father. She felt like she was about to burst into tears from all the loneliness, but then someone called out to her. Are you crying, Jun? Oh, Nagisa. Jun looked up to find the voice belonged to none other than Nagisa, a girl who lived nearby. Jun gave her a cheery smile. Nah, I'm okay. I'm A-okay. I see, thank goodness. Anyway, what's up with you, Nagisa? You sure it's okay to be going to the park all alone? I'm not alone. Sis came with me, but she fell asleep. Nagisa pointed to a young woman sleeping on the lawn. Nagisa's older sister, Kazami. Oh, brother. And do you want to play with me? Yeah. Nagisa's face brightened at Jun's suggestion. Though Jun and Nagisa were 5 years apart in age, they got along great. They'd been best friends ever since they'd met at a neighborhood association meeting. Jun was a self-assertive tomboy, yet she acted like an older sister to Nagisa. Nagisa's body was a bit weak, so she apparently couldn't play all that much with other kids her age. That's why Jun made it her mission to play with her as much as possible whenever they crossed paths. And hanging out with Nagisa was a way of healing Jun's heart. Why did Daddy say I shouldn't play with such a good girl? Jun's recent fight with her father had been caused by him saying, I don't want you playing with that kid in the park anymore. That kid in the park referred to Nagisa. This is Daddy we're talking here, so you're probably just being prejudiced or whatever it's called. Jun played with Nagisa as she thought that, and it wasn't long before she noticed Kazami frantically running over to them. Jun, I'm so sorry that you had to watch over Nagisa for me. Oh, Kazami, nah, it's cool. I was having fun too. You were sleeping like a log, sis, so I didn't want to wake you up. Can't believe I dozed off like that. Must be because it's so nice and warm today. Jun and Nagisa laughed at Kazami's embarrassed reaction. Oh my, it looks like it's already past noon now. Why don't we go home and I'll fix you up some lunch? Yeah, I'm starving. Would you like some too as thanks, Jun? It won't be anything more than spaghetti, but still. For real? Yeah, your spaghetti's the best, Kazami. Oh, why thank you. Then shall we get going? Kazami took Jun and Nagisa in hand and headed off towards the Tachibana residence. The Tachibana sisters had no parents. They'd both died from illness at a young age, so Kazami worked at a flower shop to support Nagisa. Kazami was a very kind and beautiful sister who always smelt of flowers. As a result, Nagisa never grew up feeling worthless like Jun did. Jun loved the two sisters dearly, smelling of flowers. Why is, like all the evil, like the malice-filled memories will always smell like flowers as well? I hope that doesn't come back as a thing. Anyway. Hey, what flavour spaghetti would you two girls like? Spaghetti flavoured. What do you think sounds good, Nagisa? I want to have the egg calm we ate that one day. You mean carbonara? Huh. Okay, I'll make it extra tasty just for you. Kazami smiled at Nagisa. Jun felt a warm feeling spread through her chest at that sight. The sisters always looked so happy even though they didn't have parents. Every part of their home was filled with the warmth and smiles a family should have. Man, they look so happy. Jun gripped Kazami's hand tightly as she thought this. One clear day, about a week later, Jun and Nagisa went out to Center Street to do some shopping. They wanted to give Kazami a present as thanks for always working so hard. The two girls talked as they looked at the shops that lined the street. What should we buy? What do you think Sis would like? Come to think of it, Kazami's so pretty, yet she doesn't wear all that much trendy stuff, does she? I think an accessory or something would look great on her. That sounds good. Then what should we get? Earrings or maybe a ring? Oh, I know. How about that one thing? You know that necklace thing that pops open? Pops open? Like a locket. You know that thing people put photos in and wear around their neck? You mean a locket? Yeah, that's the one. Nagisa was a very smart girl for her age. She hadn't even started elementary school, and she was more knowledgeable than Jun. Jun hated studying, so it didn't bother her at all that Nagisa was so much smarter. If we got her a locket, she could probably put a photo of you in it. Then your sis could always be with you. I see, yeah, that's a great idea. Okay, then let's find us a locket. Jun and Nagisa checked around the accessory shops. They finally found a locket in the third one they went to. It cost 3,500 yen. Jun said she'd cover the whole cost, but... No, Jun, I think I should pay half. Huh? You sure about that? I've saved up my allowance and I'd feel bad about making you pay for it all. Okay, that does sound better. Then it can be a present from the both of us. Right? So we'll each pay 1,750 yen and buy this locket. And so the two of them obtained Kazami's present. They chatted on their way back to the Tachibana residence. You think Sis will like it? I'm kidding, I bet she'll be moved to tears by it. Because Kazami loves you so much. You think so? Nagisa said that with embarrassment. It looked as if she was aware of how much her sister loved her. Jun suddenly got jealous when she saw that. You're so lucky you have such a nice sister, Nagisa. Huh? No one in my family gets along. I always hate being in that house. Daddy rarely comes home. Mummy's always going off somewhere and all my meals are made by my housekeeper. I just feel so lonely sometimes. I don't need a big house, I just want a family to get along. Just like you and your sister. Forget I said that, sorry, I don't know what the heck got into me. Boy, it must have been a real pain to hear me whine like that. That's when Jun started getting embarrassed about complaining to a 6-year-old. Nagisa spoke up with a determination in her voice. Then you should live with us too. Huh? I like you and I'm sure Sis likes you too. If you live with us, then the three of us could be one happy family. You wouldn't be lonely at all. Nagisa. Jun stared at Nagisa, who looked absolutely pleased with herself. Stupid me. I made a little girl worry about me. He's trying to be so nice to me even though she's not. She's got no mum or dad. She must be just as lonely, but she still... It was a proposal that made her feel so pathetic. It also sounded so charming. That'd be nice. And I guess that'd make you my little sister. Yep. And that'd mean I'd have 2 big sisters. And when Kazami gets married, her husband would be my daddy. Then I'd have a complete family, right? That's not exactly how it worked, but it was a very joyful dream nonetheless. Kazami would definitely make a good mum. Her cooking was also top class. Her husband would no doubt be a wonderful man. Once she got married, Kazami would be free from her day job. Then Nagisa could act more like a child of her age. Shouldn't imagine that ideal family in her head. An outsider like me shouldn't be there to begin with, but though she knew that, she thought it wouldn't be bad to immerse herself in that dream. Then maybe this present will be just the ticket Kazami needs to snag a hubby. Yeah. Alright, then let's head home and give this to her. The two friends then broke off into a run. Kazami had told Nagisa that she got off work early that day, so she'd be home around 3 PM. So Jun and Nagisa waited in the Tachibana residence for Kazami to get home. Nagisa kept on glancing at the clock, muttering, "Is it time yet?" to herself. But when the bell chimed 3 PM, it was drowned out by a thunderous roar. A shock ran through the building, and Jun heard what sounded like something collapsing. A second later, she was struck by an impact, then passed out. Ugh. Jun woke up to find she was lying face down under something heavy. Her back was being crushed under the weight of what appeared to be rough debris. What's going on? Jun was at a complete loss. She had absolutely no idea what had happened. All she knew was that her body was pinned down by something, and she could see little apart from the floor. Nagisa was supposed to be right next to her, but she was nowhere to be found. Nagisa, where are you? Her call was answered by another voice somewhere in the room. Jun, are you okay? Nagisa. Jun tried to hurry over towards Nagisa, but she couldn't make the debris budge at all, no matter how hard she struggled. Huh? Why? Something blew up. I think the ceiling fell down. Blew up? Nagisa, are you okay? I can't move either. I think I cut my head. I'm bleeding. It hurts. Nagisa? Jun desperately tried to squirm her way out from under the debris, but the debris weighing on her back creaked every time she moved, sounding as though it would collapse any second. It sounded way too close. If this thing collapses, I'll be... Just then she heard ambulance sirens in the distance getting closer and closer. An ambulance? Yeah. I'm sure help's on the way right now. We just need to hang in there. Yeah. Jun and Nagisa held still and waited for the dark room for help to arrive. But they were taking a long time to get there. Jun talked as much as she could to keep Nagisa calm. Hey Nagisa. Jun, what is it? About what we were talking about before. What were we talking about? You know, the thing about me becoming a part of your family. I was just thinking that if it really did happen, it'd probably be so much fun. Yeah, I'm sure it would be. Hey Jun. Huh? You said you got lonely from time to time earlier. The thing is, I'm a little lonely too because I don't have a mum or dad. So I can't help myself sometimes when sis is away at work. So I figured I wouldn't be lonely anymore if you became my big sis too. The frail voice was abruptly cut off. Nagisa, what's wrong? Smoke. I think there's a fire somewhere. Upon hearing that, Jun suddenly noticed. Without realizing it, their surroundings had become enshrouded by the burning stench of smoke. No, that wasn't all. The debris weighing on her back was starting to get hotter and hotter. It burns. The debris crushing Jun was on fire. That was the source of the heat and stench. Fear instantly ran through her. This is bad, my back's gonna get burned. Jun instinctively twisted her body. Right at that moment, the debris collapsed and something searing hot landed on her back. Ah! Jun! Ah, it burns! It screamed. It seemed a scorching hot reinforcing bar or something like that was pressing against her back. It instantly burnt through Jun's clothes and charred her skin. Jun gritted her teeth and twisted her body, managing to get the rebar off her back somehow. However, the heat and torturous pain didn't go away. Are you okay? I'm okay. Don't worry. Thoughts ran through Jun's mind as she panted heavily. Now that the small room was on fire, help needed to get there, and fast. If it didn't, then she and Nagisa were both dead. Someone help us! 2 of us are still trapped here. Jun hoarsely screamed those words. Nagisa also weakly rose her voice. Someone? Help us. 2 of us are trapped here. We're in apartment 303. Hurry, the fire's getting close. Someone. Jun then broke out into a violent coughing fit. Though she'd avoided it so far because she'd been pinned to the floor, the fumes finally started flooding into Jun's mouth. Someone. With those final words, Jun started to pass out. However, she heard the sound of the front door opening up. Jun was taken aback. The sound was then replaced by human voices. I've located a survivor. Help is finally here? Though she was barely conscious, Jun turned toward the voice. Just then, the debris blocking her vision was removed, revealing someone's shadow. Are you okay? Jun couldn't answer, but the man gave her a reassuring smile. You did such a good job hanging in there, but you're safe now. Jun managed to give him a faint smile of her own. The man had showed up to save Jun and Nagisa just in the nick of time, like he was some sort of hero straight out of a movie or something. She heard another man's voice coming from the corner of the room. There's another one over here. Good, 2 survivors secured. Hey Missy, is there anyone else in this place? No, just me and Nagisa. Thanks, so just hold on, I'll get you out of here on the double. The man shouted that and then moved the debris on Jun's back aside, and a second later he pulled Jun out. She'd been saved. The man carried Jun down the creaking hallway. She could see another man a short distance behind them carrying Nagisa. Is Nagisa okay? Nagisa, you mean the other girl? Yeah, she's my sister. Your sister? The man behind them answered Jun's question. Don't you worry, Missy, Nagisa's safe and sound. She's unconscious right now, but her life shouldn't be in any danger. So you don't have to worry. I see. At that moment, she suddenly felt her throat hurting from all the smoke she'd been inhaling just minutes ago. You okay? I'm gonna get you to a safe place, so just hold tight. It hurts. My back, my head, my eyes, they all hurt so much. Am I gonna die? Now that she confirmed Nagisa was safe, she suddenly felt so weak. But the man answered her in her encouraging voice. No, don't you worry, I'll never let you die. Never. Huh? We're rescue workers, we came to save you guys. We won't let you die now that we're here. Rescue workers? Now she thought about it, she had heard of them before. She learned somewhere that there were firefighters in the city who specialised at saving people's lives. I see. So that's how they were able to save us like it was nothing. Rescue workers are real amazing. If I had that kind of strength too, I could have helped Nagisa sooner. And with that thought, Jun once again lost consciousness. And with that, we're going to wrap this episode up here. Nagisa dies though, doesn't she? Because that's why Kazami treats Jun like her little sister. Because she's filling in the blank for Nagisa. Is this what kills her then, or? I guess we'll find out next time. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next one.